What's up, good people? I'm Just Major, and this is the weekend. We got a lot to get into. We got a lot to catch up on. Hope you guys had a great holiday weekend for Juneteenth. Being safe out there, watching each other's back, watching your own back. And now that you're back during the week on the grind, we're going to get into it with some market news, business, stock, finance news, all of that. Starting it off, the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, started off a couple of weeks ago with a bang, suing Binance, the largest crypto exchange company out there, and pretty much on violations that Binance failed to register as a national securities exchange. Was it? Yeah, a national securities exchange. The very next day, they sued Coinbase over supposedly years of violations of securities rules. Also, Ford, they're recalling 125,000 vehicles. Now those vehicles include one of their newer vehicles, the Ford Maverick, the pickup truck, the Ford Escape, the SUV, and the Lincoln Corsair, the SUV. Now, all three of those vehicles, I barely see on the road. I know that the road doesn't necessarily dictate how well a car is doing or selling and that kind of thing. But yeah, I rarely see those vehicles on the road anyway. But now they're doing recalls on them, and 125,000 of them. PGA Tour, they're merging now with LIV Golf, the golfing organization backed by the Saudis. So I know a year or so ago, they were in litigation and in a lawsuit with each other, pretty much over, I guess the PGA Tours felt like LIV Golf might have been, kind of stepping on their toes or in their territory or whatever it was. I'm not sure exactly what the lawsuit was over. But the LIV Golf rather, they are, pretty much trying to, I guess, give a better experience for fans and players, like a concert kind of feel more so than a country club. So I haven't been to a golfing tournament, but I can only liken it to, with the 30 seconds or so that I've watched on television, I can only liken it to something like, I don't know, sitting in for a Catholic church service. It's pretty quiet, it looks like. So maybe they want to liven it up and, kind of bring like a Baptist church feel to it or something like that. But yeah, but now the PGA Tour they were starting to, if they didn't in fact do this, they were suspending players' eligibility for going over to LIV Golf. So players started, filing lawsuits against the PGA. But now that they're merging, all of those lawsuits have gone away. So we'll see how the rest of it goes, though. Amazon, they are pretty much following in the footsteps of Netflix by adding an ad tier service for their streaming. I know Netflix just did it, last month, a couple of months ago, and they seem to be doing pretty well by, I think, bringing in, a total of like 5 million subscribers, over 5 million active users rather in the month of May or something like that. So yeah, Amazon is, pretty much, following the footsteps of Netflix. Tesla, their stock hit a 7-month high after the Model 3 qualified for tax credits. So it looks like Tesla is still rolling strong, and it also looks like those continuous price cuts really helped them out. I know margins were low when they were, continuing to do those price cuts, but it seemed like in the long term, they're going to do pretty well because of those price cuts. GameStop, man. So GameStop ended up terminating their CEO. His name was Matt Furlong, and he had only been there 2 years in the position. So yeah, now Ryan Cohen, a billionaire, I think he was on there, one of their chairmen, but he is now appointed as executive chairman. And as a result, the stock was down nearly 20% after they fired their or terminated their CEO Matt Furlong. So, and GameStop really hadn't been doing well as a stock. I know they did a reverse stock split, I think, maybe last year or sometime like that. But they're still not doing well as a stock. And it looks like the last 4 quarters, their quarterly revenue, it looks like they missed the mark rather on their quarterly revenue for the last 4 quarters. And that was 2 weeks ago, roughly 2 weeks ago, when they terminated their CEO. But now last week, the stock, jumped a little bit after 2 directors bought a total of 15,000 shares. Man. So 2 directors buying 15,000 shares, pretty much push the stock in a positive, position. So we'll see how the rest of the year goes with GameStop, or the rest of this quarter, pretty much as we're rounding out the second quarter. Carvana has been exploding. Their shares a couple of weeks ago jumped out of the gate nearly, or not even nearly, it was more than 50% after they announced that they expect to achieve profits above 50 million for the second quarter alone. So man, looks like Carvana is heading into the right direction. Right now, I think the stock had reached like $25 a share. I know it was on my watch list, or it still is rather on my watch list. And they had been as low as from what I can recall, $7 a share. So now they're at $25 a share. And the stock has jumped 300%, a little over 300% this year alone. Man. Netflix. So I briefly talked about Netflix just a minute ago when I was talking about Amazon. So Netflix subscriptions are up in the US. And it's up by the most that it's been in a 5-year span, in the last 5 years. And it's pretty much coming after they rolled out their password sharing crackdown. And over a 2-day span, May 26th and 27th, they saw like a total of 100,000 subscribers. That's the most subscribers they've gotten in a 2-day span in the last 5 years. The stock is pretty much on a rocket ship since then. Uber Health is on the scene. They are coming out with a prescription delivery program as well as grocery delivery program. Man, they are just jumping all over the ride sharing market. And so Lyft is having some really big issues with ride sharing, as I think Uber is like owning 70% of the ride sharing market right about now. Nasdaq has officially dropped Rivian from their Nasdaq 100 list. Now the list pretty much comprises of 100 of the largest non-financial stocks on the stock exchange, on the Nasdaq stock exchange. So, and they're replacing Rivian with ON Semiconductors. ON Semiconductors. Yeah, try saying that 3 times fast. But yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as catching up, and it's been a lot. So we'll see how the rest of the week shapes up. As far as coming off the Juneteenth holiday. But yeah, that's it, man. I'm just mentioning. Y'all have a good one.